The following program is a Greenlight Maine production being brought to you in part by Bangor Savings Bank.
It's the way life should be. Greenlight Maine, building Maine's economy. Greenlight Maine, start here, scale here, stay here. It's your Maine and mine, building Maine's economy, one dream at a time. It's the way life should be. Greenlight Maine.
Welcome to Greenlight Maine. Every season, this program grows. We had a record number of applicants this year. The companies are showing they have what it takes to build their business. In a few minutes, we're about to meet two powerhouses from the aquaculture industry. But first, let's say hello to our judges who have the tough decisions to make. I'd like to welcome Jacqueline Fish from Bangor Savings Bank.
Thank you, Jeline. Happy to be here. I'm Jackie Fish, Bangor Savings Bank, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Community Relations. And together with my team, we help to lift the bank's brand, its philanthropic efforts, its community engagement initiatives, as well as its public relations efforts. And the bank is a Maine-based community bank that has over 70 locations across northern New England. And it's really important to us that we support small businesses as we want to see them succeed and thrive here in Maine.
And you support so many small businesses, so thank you so much. Next up, we have Michelle Anderson from Junior Achievement.
Hi, Jolene. So happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I am the president and CEO of Junior Achievement of Maine, statewide nonprofit organization with a mission to inspire and prepare Maine's next workforce. So we work directly with kindergarten through 12th grade students across the state, giving them financial literacy education, entrepreneurship education, and workforce readiness.
You do so much. And last but not least, we have Chris Roney from the Finance Authority of Maine.
Thanks, Julie. Yes, Chris Roney. I'm General Counsel at the Finance Authority of Maine. FAME is a state agency that provides loans and other financial tools to businesses in Maine and also to students that are attending Maine schools and try to achieve higher education.
Perfection. Okay, we're going to talk to you in just a couple minutes. Our first company is doing so much for aquaculture in Maine, which is so important to our great state. I'd like to welcome Jacqueline Clark from Oyster.
Maine is renowned for its pristine waters and its premier seafood, caught and harvested by hardworking men and women. Now, Maine may be the land of lobster, but did you know its oyster production has nearly tripled in both volume and in value since 2016? But still, there is so much room for this industry to grow. We are an oyster company, and our mission is to create new revenue opportunities for Maine sea farmers by purchasing excess oysters that would otherwise go unused and transforming them into premium value-added seafood products. Our team is passionate about all things oysters. My co-owner, Sean Corcoran, has been a commercial oyster farmer for over 10 years, and Sean has experience building and managing several large-scale farms. My name is Jacqueline Clark, and I've been in the seafood industry for over 17 years. And I have experience in sales in the value-added space, and I'm also a licensed attorney specializing in business risk management. Now, during our time in seafood, Sean and I noticed some successes of the Maine oyster industry, but also some challenges. Now, although the quantity of oyster farms in Maine is increasing, the majority are still operating on a very small scale. And farmers have expressed that they have excess oysters that have grown either too large or are seemingly not pretty enough to be sold on Maine's competitive half-shell market to raw bars and to restaurants. And these farmers aren't exactly sure what to do with these excess oysters, and they're missing out on revenue opportunities. So we have a solution. We're invested in creating a new sales outlet for Maine oysters beyond the half shell to help support the growing industry. Oyster is proud to be the first Southern Maine licensed shellfish processing facility, thanks in part to a grant from CEI. And here we are able to purchase excess oysters from our fellow sea farmers. We shuck them out and then we transform them into value-added products. And thus far, we are partnered with over 15 different oyster farms. We're collaborating with 3 co-packers on the creation of our products. And we're also working with several regional distributors to establish new sales channels for these products. And these products include some creamy oyster chowders, some savory smoked oysters, and some pretty inventive tinned oyster creations. And to further support the industry, we are also working with several local towns to donate our discarded oyster shells to shoreline stabilization projects. Nor'easter Oyster Company is poised to be the first Maine company to enter into the oyster value-added product space that's currently valued at over $200 million. And this space is filled with oyster products from the Gulf, the Chesapeake, the Pacific Northwest, and the U.S. is importing millions more from overseas countries. To date, no Maine oyster product has yet entered into this space. And with Maine's reputation for premium seafood, we should be in this space and we should be dominating it. We've structured our business to grow in both volume and in value. By year 5, we're projecting to have revenue in excess of $2 million with a gross margin percentage of our products right around 66%. And we are currently working on expanding employment opportunities within our company so that folks with diverse interests and skill sets can find a home as a member of our team. Where are we going? We have finalized our product development and we are currently in processing approvals and testing with the FDA and Department of Agriculture. And by the spring of 2025, we'll be moving into production and sales. Thank you.
That was a flawless pitch and such a brilliant idea.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maine should be dominating the market.
We
You're
should.
right.
We should.
And you will. Okay, Jackie, kick us off.
It's nice to meet you, Jacqueline, and I've learned a lot about the oyster industry, so great job with your pitch. I'm curious, you mentioned that you folks are on track to achieve $2 million in sales in year 5. So how are you expanding your marketing to help increase those sales to align with your projections?
That's a great question. We are focusing first on regional sales, the region encompassing New England, because that right now there are no value-added products coming out of New England in the oyster capacity. So we're focusing there. To expand, we are planning a geographic expansion. Maine has such a great reputation for having premier oysters in the half shell capacity, and we've already been receiving inquiries from distributors that are in the mid-Atlantic region and down into the southeast. So our plan is to expand our distribution channels as we continue to grow and have the production line and the sales channels established to hit those markets, and then slowly expanding geographically across the Midwest and to the West Coast is our plan.
Michelle.
Yeah, fantastic job, Jacqueline, and talk about filling a need. I had no idea. So curious, talk to me a little bit about the different target audiences that you have right now for your business.
So the first thing that comes to mind, the foodies, the people that loved the current, the great trend that is going on with tinned seafood. The amount of inquiries and interest that we have in that capacity is wonderful. So there's definitely a direct-to-consumer, direct-to-foodie consumer aspect of that. Many of our products, for instance, our chowder is going to be available in a retail as well as wholesale capacity, so that restaurants, suppliers, folks that are looking for things in larger quantities have access to that. And then we also have just a shucked oyster product. It is something that is nowhere really in New England. It's very prevalent in the mid-Atlantic region, the southeast, the west coast, and that is something home consumers can buy. It's really big for restaurants and food supply companies because that is essentially a great raw ingredient that they can incorporate into their own dishes or products as well.
Chris.
Thanks. So yeah, great pitch. I'm curious as to, so it sounds like you're pre-commercialization at this point. Is that correct?
Pre-revenue, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious as to how who your competitors are. Who do you see your competitors are, and how you're going to gain an advantage or differentiate yourself from that?
Right now in New England, in the New England region, there are no New England-based companies that are doing value-added oyster products. There are definitely companies that are doing different product lines in the Mid-Atlantic region and on the West Coast. What we are doing, we're mindful of the cost that they're entering the market with their products, and we have a competitive pricing scheme that reflects that. The Maine oyster is so well respected within the seafood industry, so there is a premium price and a premium product attached to just that. And what we're really working on with our branding and marketing and all of our product packaging is to really tell the story of the Maine oyster industry. All of our product packaging actually has a QR code that links to our website, and every farm that we source from has their own profile page. So you as a consumer will be able to buy a pack of tinned oysters, scan it, and know which farm in Maine those oysters were sourced from. So not only does that help with traceability, but it tells a story and helps build a connection to the farmers that we're sourcing from. And we have found that people really, especially now, love to know where their seafood comes from, and it helps them build that connection to not only our business, but the farms that we source from.
That is a great plan and well thought out. So congratulations on everything so far, and we can't wait to try this.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, how seafood can improve your skin. We'll be right back after this break. Come on over.
Nice job. Thank you.
Since 1852, Bangor Savings Bank has been helping New Englanders thrive by living our You Matter More promise. We invest in Northern New England because your ideas, your well-being, and your business matter to us. Our commitment is reflected in our caring employees, innovative solutions, and investments in local communities. At Bangor Savings Bank, you are at the heart of everything we do because you matter more.
With so many Medicare options, it can be confusing. At Martin's Point, we make your Medicare choices easy. Our all-in-one Medicare plans cover doctor's visits, hospital stays, and prescription drugs, dental, vision, and eyewear, fitness and wellness reimbursements, with premiums and copays as low as $0. As one of the highest-rated Medicare Advantage plans in New England, you can feel confident you're covered. Call or visit us online today to request your free Medicare Made Simple guide.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. Our next company is a game changer when it comes to skincare. I'd like to welcome Cold Current Kelp with Krista Rosen and Inga Potter. Whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Inga Potter. I'm a marine biologist and co-founder of Cold Current Kelp.
I'm Krista Rosen, the other co-founder.
We are a kelp farm and skincare company in Kittery, Maine. We grow sugar kelp, which is a large type of seaweed, on our farm in the coastal waters of Maine. We plant our kelp as tiny seedlings suspended on rope in the ocean, and then 6 months later, we go and harvest it after it's grown into long, beautiful blades over 6 feet long.
So Maine has an enormous coast of cold, clean water that's great for sugar kelp and kelp to thrive. And we feel that kelp is sort of an overlooked crop of Maine. Some companies like us are going the route outside of the food space, and so we're looking into more high-value compounds and uses for kelp.
Our product is Kelp Glow Facial Oil. It's a facial oil made with our kelp extract and a blend of nourishing oils that are great for your skin.
So if the phrase facial oil is unfamiliar, it's essentially like a moisturizer. It can be used with a cream moisturizer or a lotion on your face or instead of.
And we make our product by harvesting our kelp, drying it in a greenhouse to gently preserve kelp's bioactive compounds, and then combining that with a blend of nourishing oils that are great for skin health.
So something unique about our product is our extraction method. So historically, you would use hexane and other toxic chemicals to do the extraction process, but we don't use those. We use a green chemistry method.
You also might wonder why kelp in skincare. Actually, there's a wealth of scientific evidence supporting kelp's powerful bioactive compounds and the positive effects on your skin. This includes things like antioxidant, hydrating, and enzyme inhibitors that disrupt the pathway for the breakdown of collagen and elastin, which causes those fine lines and wrinkles.
So even just growing kelp is good for the environment. So it's not only sustainable, but it's regenerative, meaning it actually improves the marine environment. So it can absorb excess nitrogen and carbon, it can deacidify the ocean around it, and it has other climate benefits.
One of the other things we're really excited about are the benefits to our state. So our kelp in our product is unique to Maine. Kelp is the leader in the U.S. kelp farming industry, and we're innovators in the space. So by creating high-value uses like our products, we're helping to support our working waterfront communities by giving lobstermen and fishermen an opportunity to diversify their income and build resilience in the face of climate change.
So what's next for CCK? We are doing a lot of research behind the scenes, getting at the chemistry and scientific components of what's in our extracts, and we intend to expand our product line soon. So we are really excited for kelp and the future of Maine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you can tell it's working because both of you have amazing skin. So there you go. Your proof is in the pudding.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, Jackie.
Great job on your joint pitch. You dovetailed nicely off each other, and I've learned a lot today about kelp. It's evident that you're knowledgeable and passionate about what you do.
Thank you.
I'm curious, what's the price point for your product? As we know, the skincare line market is very saturated, so I'm curious about your price point and how you're working through that pricing strategy to bring this to market.
Right, so we have two sizes, the mini and the larger size, and we essentially did a market analysis of 25 facial oils, and we chose something close to the median price but a little bit higher because we use really high quality ingredients and we are kind of involved in all of the steps, and we have that scientific background aspect of it.
Michelle.
Nice job, Inga and Kristen. I learned a lot. Who do you market to right now, and how do you look when you think of scalability? What does that look like?
So we do both direct to consumer, and we've had a lot of success there. And we're in about 25 retailers along the New England coast. And we see opportunity for growth in both markets. We've really grown quite organically, which is exciting. I mean, we haven't had, invested very much in marketing, and so people seem to be really receptive to our product. And I think we see potential growth in both areas. Increasing production is a big goal of ours, and figuring out how to do that to scale.
Chris.
Hi, yeah, thanks, great job. So I'm curious as to who you see your competitors as. Are you up against the Revlons, or are you more focused on just the naturopathic kind of businesses in this space?
Right, so there's many different ways of looking at who our competitors are. So if you were to go to a store, you wouldn't necessarily be only looking for seaweed products. We kind of consider our competitors to be not only other skincare products that contain seaweed, but also those really good scientifically based ingredients. And so in that sense, there are a lot of competitors, but we think that we are the only company in the US that is both farming kelp and making a skincare product with it. So we do have that point of differentiation.
Jackie.
I'm curious what your sales are to date and any milestones that you folks are looking to achieve.
Approximately, I think probably the last year, we're about $50,000 in sales. And based on just the last few months of this year, our sales have increased over 700%. So we are growing very quickly. We are a company that is essentially one full-time employee and a couple part-time employees, and we're not at all focused on sales. We actually do a lot of grant work and a lot of like farming technology and things like that. So we're doing a lot of kind of things at once. So
for our folks at home, can you tell them how they can find you, and when are they putting this on? Like at night before they go to bed, in the morning before their makeup?
Yes, so that you can find it on our website, coldcurrentkelp.com. The way to put it on, you can really do whatever you'd like. We both use it morning and night. It can be used in addition to a moisturizer or instead of. It's very versatile. It can also be used on dry parts of your skin and other places as well, especially in these cold climates.
And because we really want people to shop local, so at the top of our website we have a list of where you can buy in stores. So you don't have to buy from our website, but we do offer that ability. So
Simply awesome. So congratulations on all your success so far, and we just can't wait to watch how you grow and expand.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our judges are going to take a deep dive into both of these companies. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR maven, here today with the Greenlight Maine Marketing Minute. Earned media and SEO are intricately connected, as both play vital roles in enhancing online visibility and brand reputation. Earned media refers to the publicity gained through word of mouth, social media sharing, and organic press coverage, which can significantly drive traffic to a website. This influx of visitors signals to search engines that the content is valuable, improving its ranking in search results. Furthermore, quality backlinks generated through earned media help establish domain authority, thereby further enhancing SEO efforts. In essence, a strong earned media strategy enhances SEO performance, creating a symbiotic relationship that can lead to sustained online success.
I am truly awestruck by the innovation that exists.
Fame has fundamentally been a part of keeping the business community here resilient and robust.
Our role is to help.
Coming in. To have people in your corner that will guide you through the whole process is really helpful.
When they say, hey, we believe in this, it's a real boost to confidence.
Fame works for Maine, helping businesses and lenders create a bright economic future.
It's about helping Maine grow.
ARB's advisors are providing savvy solutions to Greenlight Maine startups, closely held businesses, and organizations that operate internationally. And we're doing it the way you'd want Mainers to, guided by our local, sensible values.
Whether you're a small business or a big business, whether you're cutting edge or looking at a traditional industry in a whole new way, whether you're on the coast, in the city, a small town, wherever. If you're an organization here in Maine, if you want to innovate, and if you want to grow, we want to support you. We're the Maine Technology Institute.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. It's time for our judges to deliberate, and it's important to note that you can still lose your round and go to the finals because these were two really good companies, so I know you guys have your work cut out for you. But let's start with Nor'easter Oyster Company just because Jacqueline pitched first. So what'd you think?
So Nor'easter Oyster Company, I learned a lot. What really stood out to me was their business model, and Jacqueline stated a very clear value proposition, which I found pretty unique. They're using oysters that could potentially go to waste. So they're leading a very sustainable approach. They're reducing waste. I thought their business plan was pretty clear in light of their vision of having $2 million in sales in the next 5 years. One thing I'm curious about is their funding model, if there's any milestones that they're looking to achieve to support their operations as they scale.
Nice. Michelle.
Yeah, Jacqueline did a really nice job. I know she has 17 years of experience in sales and in law, definitely a niche market here. And it sounds like she has different channels for revenue, so direct to consumer and the wholesale as well. I'm curious about the marketing strategy as they do begin to grow revenue, just what her marketing strategy is going to be.
Yeah, she learned a lot off camera. Jacqueline's an attorney. She's been working in this business also for 17 years. She definitely knows the aquaculture industry, and it really does fulfill a need, right, Chris?
Yeah, and she's so polished. I mean, I think that really plays in her favor. She has a very good command of her business and the model, and I think that'll play well with potential investors. And so, I think having that clarity of mission and where you're going to get your revenue and things like that will really make her successful.
Spoken by a fellow attorney.
Right?
All right, switching gears now to cold current kelp. Those two women are a dynamic duo. I love that she's a marine biologist, and I just think they're just going to continue to grow.
Yes, another innovative company. I love harvesting Maine's natural resources and putting it to use, in this case with products, skincare products. So it's very innovative, very unique. It's very environmentally friendly, and it's my understanding that they're still early in the funding phase and they're looking to expand soon. So I'm curious how they're going to expand their operations from a distribution standpoint.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought Ingrid and Kristen did a really nice job using such an undervalued resource in Maine, and just super innovative. What I found fascinating was they're kind of taking a step back and really in the research phase, using green chemistry, which I've never heard before. So I think very similar to Jackie. I think it's still in the early stages. Sounds like they have some bottlenecks when it comes to just their production. So I'd be curious as they grow, just how they're going to streamline that process.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. I think they have their team is interesting and having obviously different skill sets, which I think really bodes well for the business, right? Having both very technical person and somebody who can manage the other parts of it. And skincare products from like a natural resource is a really big hot thing right now, and so I think the market's pretty large, and they have a good opportunity.
Super cool. All right, we're going to give you one more minute to think about your decision, and when we come back, we'll tell you who gets the green light. We'll be right back.
Darlings Brunswick Ford has pickup and delivery service. Our team saves you time by picking up your vehicle for a service appointment and then dropping it off when it's done at no cost to you. Call 844-5945 today.
With Thomas College, it's possible to earn a degree in 3 years and a master's in 1. It's possible to find yourself graduating career-ready through one of the nation's first guaranteed jobs programs. It's possible to become the future you, the one you dream to be. Because for 130 years, we've been dedicated to helping students unlock their possible. Because we are in the business of possible. That's Thomas College. Unlock your possible at thomas.edu.
Located off I-95 in Oakland, First Park is known as Central Maine's most connected business park. It features high-speed fiber internet, 3-phase power, and is located in a foreign trade zone, connecting your business to a world of opportunity. With shovel-ready, pre-permitted sites and only a short distance to the local airport and rail service, First Park also makes it easy for entrepreneurs, innovators, and businesses to distribute or receive products around the globe. Interested in locating your business to First Park? Get an exclusive offer at firstpark.com/gift.
Welcome back to Greenlight Maine. It's the moment we've been waiting for. Is it going to be Nor'easter Oyster Company or Cold Current Kelp? Judges, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. And that means Nor'easter Oyster Company is the winner. Congratulations to Jacqueline. You are moving on in the competition. Well, that's all the time that we have today. Have a safe and successful week. Congratulations. Come on over. Yes.
Greenlight Maine would like to thank our premier partner, Bangor Savings Bank, our corporate partners, and our sponsors. Thank you.